Well, hello and good morning to some of you and good afternoon to others of you as well. How are you all doing? So weirdly cool to be here at such a different time. And yay, happy birthday, Risveglio. Mwah. From all of us to you over there. It's like, I think the universe had something in mind and kind of like helped to co-create all of us coming here for your birthday. How about that? I think that's pretty cool. Fantastic. Yes, so good morning, Christine and Daryl. Over there, it's pretty early. Fantastic to see you guys here as well. Facundo and Alexi. Fantastic. Lothar is here as well. Dave Bukowski. Fantastic, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me at a totally different time. Ralph is here and his ghost. Katsuni Snow. Good to see you, my friend. And Yana. Excellent. Very, very good. And Starry Wisdom. Yes, I think I mentioned. Good morning to all of you. So, yay. Thank you to everyone for the happy birthdays for Risveglio. That is so cool. And Nikelsh, hello. If you could finally watch a live stream. And Quake Gamer as well. So good to see you guys here. And coming to you in a totally different time zone. And yes, it is... Oh, I love it when it's 10:10. It's 10 out of 10 over here, people. So 10:10 p.m. for me. It like kind of felt right to be putting on, you know, all this makeup for a nighttime kind of thing over here. It always kind of feels a bit strange putting on quite so much in the morning. So this is somehow, I don't know, just right. So that is very cool. And we've got Jorgen for Ev, Daniel Larson. Good to see you people. Some different faces probably over here for this hour of the evening, which is awesome. Excellent. Or morning for you. I'm going to keep saying evening or night, but we'll just deal with that, won't we? So fantastic. And yes, it was happy birthday to Dave for a few days ago. So there's some birthday boys in the house at the moment. Very, very cool. Excellent. So thank you for all of you getting up early, or those of you just chilling on a Sunday afternoon. It's still Sunday here. I kind of like how it's kind of unifying and we're all on the same page today. We're actually all on the same day. How about that? So it's Sunday still here for everyone as well. Alex Baudouin, good to see you. And Mike Casaburi, Phyllis Turner, Kincaid, awesome. Good to see you guys. Wow. Very, very cool. So really, inspiring to kind of connect with the other side of the world in the Euro sense today. So that is super cool. And very, very inspiring. And interesting to just sort of see, like some of you were saying, who, you know, where everyone's from and that kind of thing at this time of the day. So definitely a bit more of a respectable hour for you, Lothar, I should think, and that's very, very cool. I feel good to not be making you be up at crazy hours, and same for you, Risveglio. Like, I appreciate when you guys do get up at crazy hours, but it's nice that you don't have to today, so that is awesome. And Jana Paul is a right time. It is 2:15 in the afternoon. There you go. So coming to you in Germany, hanging out on a Sunday afternoon. So that feels pretty good to me. Excellent. It's Brioni Day. I love that. That's really cool. We'll call it Sunday Brioni Day. All right. Fantastic. All right, you guys. So, excellent. Definitely getting some votes of confidence on the time slot for the stream. And Risveglio is sharing some birthday cake with everyone. So that's very cool. Awesome. And Mirko Woman, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. All right, you guys. So the plan for today, so we have basically just the normal sort of format. We've got like Q&A coming up first, so definitely get your questions. And I've got one question that I have to respond to, but if you've got some questions that come up in that time, definitely fire away. As I've said before, it's sort of like if it's a longer answer, I'll sum it up as best I can, but also may need to come back to it if it's a really long one and sort of save that for the next week, which I do with some. So I've got a question to answer for the show next week. And then we'll be having some Singapore highlights today, which is really cool. I've been editing like a mad woman, literally editing like a mad woman to get this thing done. I won't even lie, like I was finishing it this afternoon because it's kind of like become its own little music video. And here's me last week. I thought, oh yeah, I'll just throw together a few, you know, Singapore highlights and put it to some music, and that'll be cool. And yeah, that is cool, but it takes a lot longer than you think sometimes. So very cool to have got that one finished for you, and be sharing some highlights. There was so much footage I had of Singapore to work with, and wow, it was just really too many beautiful sights, too many beautiful sort of locations, and then lots of dancing. I was dancing everywhere, like literally all around Marina Bay sands and that kind of thing. So it was a really fun time, and you'll get to see kind of like the highlights of it. But it was quite a lot of footage to sort through and all of that to bring that together. So very cool. And I asked everyone last week and said, you know, oh, what do you feel? You know, should I set it to Need to Change or Skyscrapers? Well, I have to tell you, it's Skyscrapers in the end, because I think I had that in mind when I was filming it. So it's kind of like, it just fits that. And Singapore is definitely a city of skyscrapers, so it was just perfect to go with that one. Very cool. And we've got Zay Ware, good to see you, my friend. Dave Trammell in Philly. All right, Josh McNabb, fantastic. And Jay Gomez, good to see you, my friend. Awesome. Thank you so much for the very late super chat there last week, Jay. I didn't get to say thank you to you. It was kind of like after the thing. So thank you for that. That was beautiful. And just a reminder to you guys, like after this stream here, I'm going to have the Patreon live stream, which is for those that are part of my Patreon, but also anyone who donates or super chats or anything, that you automatically get an invite over there today. So Jay, I didn't get a chance to invite you, so you're very welcome to come over to that today. The best way to do that is to just send through an email through my website contact page, and I'll have the link there, and then I can send you the link to the next live stream. So if you can make it, you are more than welcome. I would love to have you there. So all good. All right. And yes, so we've got Singapore highlights today. Then we'll be going into topic of the week. Now this one was a very popular request from my YouTube poll, and it was how to stop being shy. So an interesting topic, very, very cool. And yeah, got some interesting tips and things there, which was really cool for me to kind of work through and just sort of get my thoughts together on this one, because I grew up really shy. Like, you might not think it now, but definitely like when I was little, I was like hiding behind my mum in the photos and that kind of thing. So it's a very cool topic, and one that I just love to break myths on, break your perceptions on it. Absolutely, like, let's move outside of the box and totally like shatter what you thought of. Sounds good? All right, it's a deal. So that's what we're going to do today with topic of the week, and then of course we'll have the trivia and giveaway as usual, and that is going to be one of these. No, sorry, not one of these. Three of these for one lucky person who has been liking, sharing, doing the thing on Facebook. And yeah, basically going to be getting 3 of those EPs sent out to you, signed, and all the rest. So that's what we do every week. Have a lovely giveaway for somebody who's supporting the stream, supporting the Facebook page, and all that kind of thing. So big love to all of you for doing that. All right, so the next thing we'll be doing is moving on to Q&A. So very, very cool. And this week, as I mentioned, I do have a question that I wanted to respond to from, I think it was last week. So getting over here. All right. And so the question that came through last week for this particular thing, that's right, the magic bowl, as Viglio has reminded me, which is over here, magic pebble bowl, Axe Genesis. Axe is, I think, asleep at this hour of the day, which is all good and well. We will let him sleep. But yes, that is care of Axe Genesis, the magic purple bowl. Fantastic. All right. So Now, the question that came through last week was about when did you start writing music? So music's actually been something that's been, in my life right from the beginning. I actually started learning piano at the age of 4, and sort of, it's been there my entire life, of course. And so basically, like, when I actually started writing music myself was around the age of 13. So it was just sort of like just starting into high school, and my parents had been going through a separation and that kind of thing, and which, turned to divorce. So it was kind of like a pretty challenging time. I mean, I think around the age of 13 is a pretty full-on time in your life, regardless of anything else that's going on. And it was, I think, really like an emotional outlet for me, my music. I had been getting lessons right through, piano lessons and all that kind of thing. And it was around that time, or just before that time, that I'd actually stopped getting lessons. I'd sort of gotten to a point where I was going, I'm losing inspiration on what they're telling me to play, because as you might know, with, having piano lessons or anything like that, you have exams, and then you have, pieces that you're told to play and that kind of thing. And I was really getting a bit bored of it. Like, it had gone from classical to a sort of more modern element, which was great, but it was still kind of like, I just want to play what I want to hear, and so it was great in that sort of transitional time. I really started to gravitate towards playing what I wanted to hear and what I needed to express. So it was great. It was interesting. It was kind of like a lot of dramatic pieces, a lot of like really big sort of classical fold chords and that kind of thing. And so it was really about me expressing myself, and I did start to actually write some pieces there. They started off a bit more sort of classical kind of feel and classical melodies, and even funnily enough, the little main melody of Cybersex was kind of written not long after that time, like around, it's funny, like little melodies and things that have stayed with me my life, and then ended up in actually songs and things, or chord progressions that I've used in some of my songs today. So that's very, very cool. And it was funny. Friends of mine were quite surprised when I played something, and they'd be like, did you just make that up? Like, how weird is that? And it's like, well, no, it's not really weird to me at all. It's kind of like, I'm just playing what I want to hear. And it's so satisfying, like, to actually not have to sit down and play, this sheet music or something that everybody's, given you, and something somebody else has thought of. It's like, get in touch with your own thoughts and your own expression, and like, Lacey Starr is here, everyone. Fantastic. Good to see you, Lacey. Welcome back. Fantastic. It's an early morning over there for you, I'm pretty sure, as well. And for Astahi from Russia, good to see you, my friend. Excellent. And yes, that's it. So it really was like a sense of satisfaction and everything that came through from learning to write my own music, and just kind of like giving myself permission, I think, to explore that. And then it was sort of put on the back burner for a while, like through studies and that sort of thing, and exploring other forms of work and that. But I always sort of kept music in the background of my life if it wasn't at the forefront. And then, as I sort of explained, for my kind of turnaround with my work sort of situation around the time of falling, it was basically then, so that's sort of around 2009, 2010 was when I really kind of went, bang, that's it, I've got to do something with this. So, music I had been kind of writing since the age of 13, and then it was around that sort of year that I went, that's it, I've got to do something with this. It's been in me for a while, I've got to, I know it's there, and it's got to come out. That's it. Jag is here. Hey, Jag Taggart, fantastic to see you. Panic for a second because you think it's much later than it is. Haha, I'm not playing tricks on you, sorry about that, Jack. You're thinking that it's midday tomorrow, you're like, oh my God, am I late for work? That is very, very cool. Hey, Michael Danford, good to see you, my friend. Dave Trammell, or Trammell, not sure which. Oh, good. Lovely to see you guys. Excellent. Yes, music is the most universal language. It's so true, Dave. I love that. You know, it's really, and I think that's what made me really want to get, you know, really stuck into it, because I feel like there's so much expression. I'd studied human behavior and healing modalities and these sorts of things, and it's like, music is the universal language, and that's where I get the most satisfaction, and I know that it communicates the best. So it's like, that's where I need to kind of put my energy, and that's the best platform for me in my expression, because it was something that came naturally, from an early age. So there we go. But so it was about then that I got with falling, around that sort of 2009, 2010. I got more serious about it and really started actually working on an album and starting to put things together. So fantastic. Mario 1733, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for your lovely comments on my channel. I have noticed. Lovely. Really cool to see some of you guys that have not been here in the past due to time zones. Josh McNabb, all good, my friend. Good to see you. And yes, got to do what you got to do, my friend. That is all good. Don't want you getting in trouble with work, so not on my account. All good. Yes, so that was basically the main one for the Q&A for today. And yes, we're going to be moving on. If no one's got any other questions that they want to sort of slot in here for today, that is all good. And we will move along to some Singapore highlights, which is super exciting. And yes, as I said, it's kind of like a lot of fun. I was cracking up actually, like putting it together, because there was, there's a lot of like silly footage in amongst the actual like dancing, a lot of smiling, and like industrial dancing can be quite sort of stony face and quite serious and that kind of thing, but there's a lot of smiling, a lot of silliness going on, and this is definitely not serious, not a serious choreographing routine or anything like that. So yay. Lacey, nice one. Listened to Falling recently and it was a wow. That's really, really cool. And Falling, I mean, it is about sort of stepping out into the unknown, and that was when I really went, that's it, doing something with my music and, embracing that journey as well. So absolutely. Very, very cool. So you guys, I'm going to share now with you my little bit of footage. It's pretty much the whole song for Skyscrapers, but putting together with Singapore footage and the amazing light and water show that they have outside of Marina Bay Sands is absolutely stunning. So I've got some footage of that in there, filmed it from a few different angles, and I think I'm going to put that full thing together for like my Patreons. I probably won't put it on my channel publicly, but as an unlisted things on my Patreon channel, definitely I would love to share like the full concert thing of this, because it's like a 15-minute show. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, it was amazing, like just to watch it back. I was getting goosebumps and stuff and everything, and listening to myself and like laughing and just going wow over the thing as well. It's just brilliant. Yes, fantastic. So we're going to move on to the video here. So let's check out Skyscrapers from Singapore. Here we go.
we stand so tall. Steel pillars, we will not fall. Up so high we can see it all. We are skyscrapers. We are skyscrapers.
You guys, I love it. Oh, thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. Honestly, it was quite a bit of work to actually put that together. So I am so happy, and happy birthday, Rosviglio. There's my birthday present. Oh, really cool. I mean, there was so many wow sites in Singapore. You know, it's really beautiful to kind of share it and showing it to you guys, and like, you know, the just that whole area. You know, you walk right around that whole Marina Bay sands, and that whole area is just stunning from every angle, and there's a different outlook from every angle. It's just a wow. And big shout outs Mika and Ryo, good to see you, my friend. Ron Carlson, how are you? Excellent. And Jaroslaw, amazing, always watching on the replay. So cool that you could be here, my friend, at this time. Amazing. And Ralph, Indy's Ghost, you're cracking me up with you shaking your windows. Oh, Ralph, it's brilliant. And I've seen a picture like Ralph posted of his car with like playing the music video, and these lights, amazing lights inside your car. It's like Singapore inside your car, Ralph. It's amazing. And Marco Dong, good to see you, my friend. Awesome. I mean, yeah, and you guys would have seen like the projection mapping going on there. They had it on that lion statue, and also on the it's kind of like a big lotus. I think it's a science museum or something inside this lotus flower sort of thing that's next to Marina Bay Sands. It's just an amazing structure, but they're projection mapping on the outside of it. So I had to have some shots dancing that, and next to that. And then at the end, when I just sort of slotted that piece of footage into place, and you know, with those, it looks like there's faces coming out of the wall. I just love that. How I went, oh my God. And it was like, I just slotted that into place, and it was right on the We Are Skyscrapers. And it's like faces coming out of the building. How cool is that? You just can't plan this stuff sometimes. It just works out. And I went, wow, that is so cool. And yes, it had to be skyscrapers, as you guys can see. Fantastic. And Dave was like, yeah, I know. It was like, the water show was like, because so much shooting up, it was like, skyscrapers, yes. And it really felt like it was just perfectly in time to it at some points. It was just brilliant. So Amazing. And as I said, I would really love to share the full light show with you guys on Patreon, because it's so worth seeing, and I'd love for you to see it, and to see it with the actual music that it is choreographed to. I mean, the engineering behind this thing is just mad. Like, when you think of the engineering behind not only getting the lights to sequence right to the music, and then there's lasers shooting down off the building behind, and then you've got to have the right water pressure to have the right patterns, to have the right velocity, to have the right height. It is madness, people. I just appreciate that stuff so much. I do, you know, even just video editing, it's like there's a lot of work, and you think of like all these levels of projection plus lighting, water, and you add all that into it. It's like, oh my God. So just, yep, that's it, Lacey. Had to get out there and dance, and around all of that, you just go, wow, what an amazing setting. So had to take full advantage. And it was hot out there. It was like every day in Singapore, I think it's like above like 30 degrees Celsius. So it's like at night time, but it still feels like 35, 36. So I don't even know what that is in Celsius. Someone can convert that for me. But yeah, it was fun. And then I thought I had to show you at the end the little bit where it's like the shots that were near this kids amusement park, and it's like that's what I'm actually hearing. So I'm dancing along to like Incy Wincy Spider and like la 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 la. So that was pretty cute, and I thought, I was like, yes, we have to show you what I was actually hearing when I'm dancing in that particular spot there. Excellent. Hey Angel, good to see you, checking in from work. Nice one. Good stuff. I promise I won't tell anyone. All right, fantastic. Yeah, so lovely to share that with you guys, and I'm grateful that you appreciated that. And yeah, I think I'm actually probably going to put together a bit more of a video with this that might be able to go on my YouTube channel, and put some, yeah, a little bit more to it as well. So we'll see what comes of that. But definitely loved. I knew you'd come through, Dave, with the conversion there. Dave is Mr. Time Zone and Mr. Conversion. 86 Fahrenheit is 30. All right, so if we go a bit higher than that, and that's what we're experiencing at night time over there at Singapore, dancing around. Yes, very, very humid as well. It's not sort of like a dry heat. It's like, you're baking it. Beautiful. Yes, Lacey, it was like, it was warm, so, but at least there was a little bit of a cool breeze coming off the water there too. So it was beautiful, just stunning. And yeah, you just can't get kind of sick of looking around at those lights and everything around there. It's just amazing. Fantastic. Meteorology. Perfect, Dave. Always the man with the numbers he is over there. Love it. Good stuff. Thank you, Dave. And yes, it is amazing to see Singapore. So just loved it, and love sharing that with you guys. Awesome. So now that means we're moving on to topic of the week, my friends, which is great. And a bit of a fun one. Might not seem like fun one, but it is a bit of a fun one. This week, the whole topic of how to stop being shy. Now, this was definitely a very, very popular choice for a lot of people when I put out a poll, and there are a few different sort of options there. So it was very, very predominantly people wanting to look at shyness and that sort of thing. So straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you that shyness is a bit of a myth. Okay, so what I really want to kind of do... Oh, Risveglio, thank you so much for the tip there, my friend. On your birthday even. Oh my goodness. Still smiling from the beginning of the live. Oh, that is so cute. And beautiful present. Well, thank you for sharing the love, my friend. Appreciate that very, very much. And yes, looking forward to catching up with you in the stream after here as well. Fantastic. And Tom Cott, good to see you, my friend. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, so Tom Cott, we're just actually starting into the topic of the week now. So your timing is awesome. Very, very cool. And yes, so to break the kind of myth around shyness, that would basically start with the fact that everyone is introverted when they're outside of their comfort zone. If you think about how, like, as soon as you're put into a situation that you're not particularly comfortable with, everyone sort of withdraws inward a little bit. You know, we all sort of kind of like back off a wee bit and that kind of thing. then everyone is extroverted when they're inside their comfort zone, like what you're most comfortable in, what you're most confident in. Whether it's talking about a subject that you really, know very well and you're very assured about that would be something that you're confident in. Okay, so everyone on the planet has shyness and introversion as part of their personality. So nobody really is any more shy than anybody else. It's just going to be in a different area. So I think a lot of people might classify themselves as, I'm a really shy person, because they're comparing themselves to others, maybe in a social situation. It's quite easy to go, oh, I'm really shy because I'm not so comfortable if I'm meeting new people. Okay, but you might be really, really comfortable in a discussion with, co-workers on finance or something like that. Whatever your area of specialty is, and everyone has one, whatever your area of specialty is, anything that you're most knowledgeable about, that's where your confidence is, because that's something that you know. So very, very interesting. If you take someone like Oprah, right? An example of someone who you might even go, oh yes, she's totally confident, and you'd think, and there'd be pretty much any situation you think, oh, she'd be pretty confident. Well, you probably take Oprah and then you might put her in a room full of brain surgeons and rocket scientists and have them talk about, extreme physics. Then you'd probably see her become pretty quiet and pretty shy from the outside. She would appear really introverted. She'd be going very, very quiet because she wouldn't have anything to add to the conversation, and she'd feel really, really out of her depth, right? So we all have a scenario that puts us in that particular frame of mind, puts us in the situation of feeling that we don't have anything to add, feeling that we don't, can have anything to contribute to that situation, which is not true as well, because everybody has something to add, in different scenarios. But then take someone who in any normal social outing kind of environment might appear shy, put them in their home environment, and see with a group of friends, with, as I was saying, like talking about subjects that make you feel confident, that you feel confident to talk about, then you appear confident. So it's all really relative to the person and the setting, where they are, what they're doing, and all of that, as we've sort of talked about in the past, comes down to people and their values. So, we all have that shyness within us. It's not something that someone has more of than others. It's just what's inside your comfort zone and what's outside of your comfort zone. So we're not all here to have the same comfort zones, or we'd be all the same people. So of course, people have different sets of values. We all operate slightly differently. And that's why we display introversion or extroversion in different areas. Okay, so, it's not something that anybody has 100%. Nobody is 100% shy. So I'm thinking, hopefully have communicated that pretty well for you now, that, it's like you do have areas where you're confident, you have areas where you're shy. So do I. You put me in a situation that I don't have any experience on and people are talking about that. Well, I'm going to be pretty quiet, or like looking for some angle, something to connect with that maybe, I can feel that I can connect with that. But, from the outset, we'd all be pretty shy. All right. So the main thing, as I said, I wanted to break that myth and basically communicate to you that you're not shy all of the time. So it's really important, I think, for people to stop judging yourself as being a shy person, because you're only shy in certain situations, and that's just because you don't feel confident in those situations. But there are things that we can do to actually bring your confidence up in those situations as well. And I'm going to share with you really soon, like, I think 4 different things that I feel really, really can contribute to, growing and moving outside of that sense of shyness. Anyway, all right. So as I said, for me, I was actually pretty shy growing up. gosh, I was definitely like the little kid with pigtails. I was sort of standing there with like my finger in my mouth going, ooh, and like hiding behind my mum and photos and that kind of thing. And, fear of rejection was a really, really big thing for me growing up. And obviously, as I've shared as well, like I think that attracted some bullying and all this sort of thing, because it was a big trigger for me. So you kind of tend to attract what are your triggers. And so I definitely was pretty quiet and not sort of really outspoken or anything like that when I was maybe at school and younger and that kind of thing. And the what I found to be the turning point for me was actually becoming involved in sports. Now, it's funny because I'm really not that much of a sporty person now, apart from dancing. It's not something that's high on my values now, and I don't really have time for that sort of thing. So dancing would be my main sport, I suppose. But growing up, I was quite sporty growing up, and that was a really big turning point for me because it actually pushed me out of my comfort zone, and it made me connect with others in a team kind of sense. Like I played softball, I played table tennis, I played also. I actually did martial arts, which was a really good one. That was a definite confidence booster kind of thing. I thought, I need to do that. Hey, get a little picture. And it was blonde hair too. Really blonde little pigtails. I have a photo in mind. I'll have to look for it. Yes. And yeah, so essentially it was like for me, really getting involved in that sort of quite early on and, becoming a part of a team, stepping out my comfort zone, that really was quite a trigger for me to actually move on and actually move out of that sense of shyness. Like, because you're having to be active, you're having to run around, and I'm going to come to this in one of the points, but it's kind of like you're getting moving and you're getting energy moving. So it actually forces you to move into a different space in a social environment. So it's a really brilliant way when you think of sport in that sense. It's actually getting you to connect and work with other people and getting you moving and getting you having to sort of like literally charge around and, take control and take authority in your position for what you are in the team and that kind of thing. So that was a really, really big learning curve, I think, for me. And that, when I was thinking back, I was like, wow, that was actually the thing that really started to bring me out of my shell as well when I was going through, mainly sort of like through middle school to high school kind of thing. Around that age was when I really started getting more involved in that sort of thing. And Dave says, I was shy because I was teased, bullied, made fun of because I was dancing, and also wasn't great at sports, but was good at all the math science stuff. Probably intimidated the people. Yes. Right. Yeah, that's it. And as we've talked about, Dave, it's like if you challenge somebody in their perceptions, you challenge basically what their beliefs are or of how people should be, then definitely they're going to come, you're going to challenge them and you're going to get some resistance from them. And that's often where the bullying sort of thing comes from. But it definitely makes us stronger, that's for sure, in those situations. Yes. And just reading Dave's comment here. My shyness, however, broke more at college when I got away from that local crowd. Yeah, that helps too. And it's at putting yourself into the situations where you are more comfortable, where you are feeling more connected with what other people are doing and that sort of thing. Excellent. So I'm going to give you some tips that I have sort of worked with and felt that really, really just help to kind of turn around the perspective on shyness. But also there's a funny one in here which you might think is mildly crazy, and that's cool. We'll totally go with it. But it's basically something that's going to help you in a social situation, and techniques to just help you stop that feeling of shyness. Okay, so the number one thing that I would start with, as we've just sort of discussed about already, is about balancing your perception of yourself as being a shy person. So it's like you're not just a shy person. It's really, really important, I think, to break that myth within your own self-image. Because as we said, you're simply less confident in certain situations. There's other situations where you are confident, and that's really, really important to realize that you're not 100% one way. Okay, and your identity is not made up from you in one situation. Right? There's many, many facets to who you are. It's really, I think, unfair on yourself to classify yourself by how you might think you behave in one certain situation. Okay, so it's really, really important, I think, that you realize that you have it in you just as much as anyone else, and you also have confidence in you just as much as anyone else, but it's in your values and it's in what's most important to you. Awesome. Yay, Michael Danford's getting his pen and paper ready. Love it. Very cool. And so start focusing your perception of yourself more in the confident areas. Looking at where you shine. That's where your confident self is. Your engaging, sparkling kind of self. That is where your confidence is. And as I said, you have it in you just as much as anyone else, and others have seen it. So the best way to own something within yourself is to own it through the eyes of others. So what that means is really like if you can identify in your mind certain times, places, situations where certain people have identified you as being confident, right? So you go, wow, where do you start with that? Okay, so let's look at, maybe this is something that you can do like as an exercise, and I would say in your own time kind of thing, looking for 20 to 30 times in your life where people have seen you as confident. So it might sound like a lot of homework or, that kind of thing, but really what this is about is owning that you are equally as confident as you are shy, and seeing where it is, because you'll notice that certain friends in a certain situation, like say, oh, okay, maybe when, I was around at my friend's place and we were talking about that, and there was a group of us there, and I was talking more about this, and, I was quite loud and really, quite certain about my beliefs and what I was talking about. Well, then they saw me as confident there. Okay, so that's one. And then chalk up, 20 to 30 if you can, and keep going till you really feel that level of ownership of that trait of confidence. Because it's really important to your self-image and what you understand to yourself to be true is seeing those times, seeing those moments. And it's kind of like going, okay, no, I can see that I actually do display confidence quite a lot, but it's really like I'm the only person that's not seeing it. Other people are seeing it. So there's a very, 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 very cool tool, I should say, to really stretch yourself and look beyond what you think and stretch your self-image into seeing yourself as confident in these situations. Brilliant. All right, so now number 2, when the body acts, the mind responds. So this is something you might have heard of. There's a saying that you might hear saying, fake it till you make it, or, act as if. And I'm not particularly a fan of these sayings. Like, I don't like the idea of sort of condoning being fake or anything like that. It's more to me, but when you get the meaning of it, I kind of see how people can kind of say this. But this is something that you can try, and it's a really, really interesting exercise, because when you're feeling low in energy, right, or you're feeling a bit sort of mentally drained, or you're certainly feeling down or, drained in any sort of way, then obviously you've got to move about more lethargically. The way you move, the way you hold your body, that you sort of feel like, here I am at work again today, and it's really boring. And, your whole energy is like, bleh. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. If you're in that space, try shifting what you're physically doing, right? So instead of milling around and being kind of really low in energy, the way you're walking, the way you're sort of talking, all your body language, actually lift it up and start walking about as if you've got more purpose, you've got more energy, you've got more energy actually like flowing through you. And if you're walking around as if you're filled with energy, your mind actually wakes up. It's really, really interesting, because this is what I'm saying, like when the body acts, the mind responds. So when you do something and you physically are telling your mind that you have this energy, even though your mind is probably, technically sending the signal first, but you're acting as if you have the energy, your mind will come into play, and it will actually, align there with what your body is giving it the message to do. So it's really interesting. I've done this myself, but it's like the biggest, I think, way that I've really noticed this work for me is if I've been at, work or something like that and been feeling really like, oh, I really just don't feel like it today, just not really in the mode and not feeling it and that kind of thing. And then I've just gone, all right, I'm going to walk with purpose, and I'm going to walk as if I mean it, walk like I actually care about why I'm being here, care about what I'm doing today, and give some energy to that, and like bang. And you know what? That mood just instantly gets left behind, and you're more engaged, you're more present, because your energy is requiring it, and you're literally moving yourself into that space. So it's a brilliant little thing that you can do there to shift your energy if you're in that sort of lower space. So let's think about, right, if you're in a, because a lot of people classify themselves as shy in a social situation, and it's like a social anxiety kind of thing. So what if you actually got your body to act as if you're not shy in that situation, and actually start to hold yourself as if you are filled with energy, filled with confidence. Now, this is something that can take a bit of practice, but I actually found this thing, a funny little technique when I think it might have been like looking for a job interview or something like that, and I came across this thing, and it's apparently a yoga thing, I'm not sure, but anyway, it's a technique where literally that's called like a Superman pose, right? So if you imagine, cape flowing back here, legs like standing apart, so like legs standing apart, arms on the hands on your hips kind of thing, like, all right, I'm here and I'm in business, right? So if you imagine just standing in that pose, and I think that's a really important thing, is like legs planted firmly apart, hands on your hips, really standing tall, chin up, and thinking, all right, I'm here and I'm on purpose, I'm on mission, and I'm on track. Cool. All right. And breathe into that. So it's kind of like taking some really deep breaths and standing in that position, maybe for 1 or 2 minutes, or, however long feels right for you anyway. But just try it. I dare you to try it, like totally on your own, whatever. Just do it. And you will really, really notice. Picture everyone in their underwear. Yes, Ike Willis. And, picture it in Superman underwear even. How about that? Get your little S on. That's it. So it's about, again, moving your body into alignment with where you want your mind to be. So, if you're feeling shy, you're simply not engaged with this side of yourself. It's like this is your confident self that, yes, it's something that you need to practice. I'm just seeing Indy's Ghost comment, that won't work all of the time. Yes, the underwear thing. But, exactly, Facundo, putting yourself out there, school plays and that sort of thing. Yes, I did that as well. And I think that really, that'll be coming to another point. It's kind of like you've got to do it. You just got to do it and put yourself out there. But this is a little technique that you can do sort of privately, maybe before going out, or privately before going into a job interview or something like that. It's something that you can do any particular time. And then once you've actually kind of got in touch with that feeling, you don't necessarily need to physically do it every time, right? You know the energy of what that feels like, and you can call on that anytime. That's it. Chrissy, just don't feel like it. That's it. And if you just don't feel like it, you can move into a space of where your body is saying, yes, I do feel like it. And then the mind will actually catch up. And the mind and body, have this intricate balance where they work hand in hand. One will give feedback to the other and vice versa, where the body will give you feedback on what the mind is actually truly feeling. So that's where, if your mind is low in energy and you're just not feeling it, then your body's energy will slump and become lethargic and all that sort of thing. And then, so working on the counterbalance, you can move your body, make it move into a different form of action, and the mind will respond. Fantastic. All right. So, it's a fun one. Think of the Superman pose. The Superman pose is what it's all about. Yes, there probably are quite a few people in their PJs over here. Fantastic. And there'd probably be quite a few that would be at my time zone too, but not me. Not yet. Anyway. But yes, so there's nothing, to me, there's nothing really fake about engaging with you in your more empowered state, right? So it's like you've got it in you, you've just got to bring it out. So this is something, a little exercise you can do to actually bring out that energy within you and just to get in touch with it and kind of, be sort of getting to know the energy of what that feels like. And certainly it's something that you'll know because, as I've said, we all have it in certain areas. You've definitely displayed it in certain areas with some people, and this is just a way that you can kind of call on it at any time, especially if you're going into a social situation where you don't feel quite as confident usually, right? Because it's something that requires practice. Okay, so number three is really about how to talk to people in a new or slightly uncomfortable environment. So I think this is an area that a lot of people get a bit hung up on, is the social side. And, people classify themselves as shy because they're just not quite as confident talking to new people and that sort of thing. I mean, this definitely used to be a thing for me. And, I feel the best way to engage with anybody is actually get them talking about themselves, right? Now, there's plenty of literature on this, and I think was it How to Win Friends and Influence People? It's actually kind of on this sort of topic, but at the same time it's not in a manipulative sense. It's actually just understanding how people work and how you can actually learn to relate to people better, which is actually a really beautiful thing. And so the truth is that we all really love to talk about ourselves. And that's the truth. It's not a selfish thing. It's not a self-absorbed thing. It's just really more reflective of that we all have our own highest values and we love to talk about that. So when you're in a social situation, literally, say if you had a small circle of people talking, sometimes you might notice that people are kind of they look like they're listening, but they're more waiting to talk. And they're actually waiting to try and steer the conversation back to themselves. They're looking for an angle to go, someone might be saying, oh, well, I went for a holiday to Singapore recently and it was really amazing. And then someone will be like, oh, I've been to Singapore 5 times, and so it's kind of they are engaging with what you're saying, but they've now made it about them and their travels, and so look, we all do this. We all really want to talk about what we value the most and what's most important to us. So it's the absolute beauty of that is that you can kind of actually find things to talk about with people when you just sort of merge into a conversation and start listening. And the best way to engage with people in a new environment is to ask those open-ended questions that engage with people, but be genuinely interested in what they're saying, looking for some sort of common ground. And I think often you can kind of pick the people that you might, actually like find something in common with. You can tell maybe by the way someone dresses or the way they hold themselves. You can kind of usually externally sort of pick and go, yeah, I think I might connect with that person. So like, let's say we're in a, social environment where you don't know that many people. It could be a work gathering or something like that. And you think, well, if I sort of gravitate over here, I might have someone to talk to over there and that kind of thing. And then just listening to what people are talking about, because again, people will always try to steer the conversation back to what's most important to them and what they value the most. And people are always wanting to talk about themselves. So if you ask people questions about themselves and it's genuinely engaged in what you've already picked up is most important to them, then suddenly they're going to be open and engaging with you, and the best conversations that you're going to find and connections that you're going to have are when you are communicating with someone in their highest values and it matches yours. Like if you've got mutual interests and you're genuinely interested in what they have to say about it, then that person's going to walk away and go, wow, that person was really, really nice. It's like, they're really, really nice because they wanted to talk about me and what's most important to me. So that's pretty much like how we all operate, and the people that you're going to connect with the best are the ones that are going to give you that kind of engagement, and the truth is that's the best energy that you're going to get out of a conversation. When you feel really engaged with someone, even if it's a topic that isn't 100%, in your niche, in your pocket kind of thing, well, it's still, you get this energy back from somebody who's talking about something that they love, so it's a really beautiful thing to engage with people that way. So again, it's asking people questions, like open-ended questions, so not, like a yes or no answer sort of thing, but engaging with them on something that is really important to them, and you'll get that from listening. You'll get like, oh, they really love talking about their work or their kids or career or, something that they're talking about already. And if you feel a connection with that particular aspect, ask them about it. Ask them more interesting questions about that. Fantastic. Ralph, no worries. Good to see you, my friend. And we'll catch up with you on the road, it seems. Sounds good. All right. And yes, so again, it's really about just practicing that form of communication, asking people, about, like if it's at work, asking people about their outside interests. You can usually get a gauge on what somebody's interest to outside. Making when you see somebody at work, like say if you see their work desk, right, and you'll see pictures and things around of what's most important to them. Everybody surrounds themselves with what's most important to you. So it's a really, really good way to gauge like what somebody's really interested in. Have a look at their desk, what's around there, and that kind of thing. But again, it's opening those doors. It's about having open-ended questions, and asking people about their outside interests is a really great way to really start to connect with people in a more sort of social environment. Excellent. It's funny, it occurred to me like a story that I remembered working with a girl, and she was kind of getting a bit bullied at work by another workmate who I also knew in the same kind of fashion. Like it was somebody who, one of those, I've talked about them before, one of those sorts of like crab in buckets where, if they see anybody doing anything well, they want to pull them down. One of those sorts of people. And she was very, very, I don't know, kind of mean to this particular girl. Anyway, this girl is absolutely beautiful. She really was quite shy and quite timid in the workplace, right? Not so much like when you got talking to her and you got to know her a bit more, she really sort of opened up and everything. But just from the outset, and I could tell that this other girl was a bit intimidated by her, her looks and her beauty and that sort of thing. So she was really kind of being a bit mean to her and, really giving her a hard time at work and that kind of stuff. And she said, I really can't stand working with this girl. What can I do to just, I don't know, make this a bit more manageable? I really, feel like asking the boss to like transfer away from this person because she really makes it hard for me. And I said to her, just ask her some questions about herself and see what happens. You know, the next time that you have to work with her, ask her about her interests, her hobbies, you know, whatever it is. Just open that conversation, see what comes up. And it was funny, then I didn't see her for a little while, and then the next time I saw her, I said, oh, so how's it going, you know, with this person? And she said, oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. She is so nice to me now. You know, she just says hi to me every time she sees me. You know, she started talking about her interests, and it was like she transformed. She became this really nice, pleasant person, like someone that I actually wanted to talk to. It's like, wow, okay. You know, and that was the brilliant thing of actually shifting the focus and shifting the dynamic to where if you're interested in them, then suddenly they become interested in you, because they're like, oh wow, this person is of value. They're actually like engaging with me, you know, and totally shifted the dynamic for her at work, which was absolutely brilliant. Loved it. And yeah, she definitely learned a bit of a life skill through that one. It was brilliant. So, you know, it's not that we're all completely selfish and self-absorbed and all that kind of thing. It can be taken that way, but really it's not the truth. It's simply that we all have our own set of values. And when we're engaged with our values, that's when we shine. That's when we connect with other people who connect with our values, and we really, really engage. You know, you engage with someone when they're talking about their values. If they are similar values to yours, you know, then bang, there's a real connection there, you know, and that is the way to really open up amazing conversations with people. And, you know, it's finding that common ground. It's to talk about, to have these people deliberately like open up. They want to talk to you more because you've actually listened and you showing interest in that you care enough to actually engage with them. So, you know, sort of from the outset it can sound like, oh, we're all really self-absorbed, but at the same time it's like when you really connect with someone, you engage with what's important to them, then there's a level of caring and actual genuine interest in that, which is a really beautiful thing. So yeah, very, very cool. That was number 3. All right. And I'll say hello to Max YT from Germany. Good to see you, Max. And Conan 200 is not cringy at all if you're taking notes. That is awesome. I love it. And I will probably have like the number 1, 2, 3, 4 down in the description after all of this for you as well, just to refer back to. All good. And yes, so Number four is if you're going to break through it, you got to do it. So it was really a bit like what Facundo was saying about, you know, you've got to really put yourself out there, you know, just simply doing what it is that you fear or that you know, feel uncomfortable with. Just simply doing it is going to numb you down. It's going to numb down the angst about it. It's going to take out that anxiety of it, because, you know, practice makes perfect. And I love the saying, competence breeds confidence. So the more competent you feel, the more confident you'll feel. So always, you know, practice makes perfect, and there's always room to grow in that kind of thing. But, you know, we all have scenarios where we're going to feel shy. You know, and we're always going to have new experiences and things which are going to push us out of our comfort zone. And that's part of growth. It's a wonderful thing. You know, doing it makes you better at it, and it makes you more confident at it. So it's simply about letting yourself be in those situations and push yourself through it that little bit each time, and kind of keep going there. That's it. Haha. And Dave says this conversation can relate to how to deal with haters, how to deal with bullies. That is it. It all ties in, Dave. Absolutely. You know, and I think the main element to all of it is really about people and their values. When you start to understand human behavior, it's really about understanding, well, how people live according to their values, but then what we do and how we react and respond when other people are not inside our values or they're challenging us in certain ways. You know, that's really what human behavior is all about. I love it. It's fascinating to me. That is it. So, you know, It's just remembering as well, again, that you're not a shy person. You are a person that has confidence in some areas. Own those, really look into where that is. And, you're building confidence in other areas. So rather than see it as I don't have confidence in that area, it's I am building it. Fantastic. That is it. Absolutely, Facundo, like the old cliche, if you don't, at first you don't succeed, try again. Absolutely, and there's no such thing as failure, as we've discussed as well. You can't succeed without failing. You're succeeding at learning. That's at first attempt at learning. Fail. Fantastic. All right, so basically that's my sort of big 4 tips for the week, for the topic of the week, tip of the week, whatever you want to call it, for breaking through shyness is really about those key elements there. And being patient with yourself. It takes practice to learn these new skills in different situations, but there are certain things that you can do that you can then, once you have that as your part of your toolkit in a sense, then you'll definitely have that to take forward with you as well. And so I'm going to go into this a bit more in the Patreon stream. We'll really want to actually go a little bit further into building your confidence, and there's some other examples of tools and things that you can utilize definitely within that within the confidence sort of realm. And I've got a couple of tools to share over there, which will be very, very cool. So love to share that sort of stuff. Excellent. But yes, it's all about, don't let any situation make you smaller. Like, own your confident self, give yourself the tools to let others see it, and when you choose for them to as well. So, we all have that aspect of ourselves. We let it out when we choose, and you can actually be more engaging, more confident with others when you choose. Absolutely. So we're going to wrap up this section with a bit of human, because I do love the message in human again about, don't let them make you smaller, because any situation outside of ourselves, don't let it make you smaller, make you shrink, or make you feel that you're shy, because the truth is you're not. It's just a new situation that you're feeling a little outside of your comfort zone. You can definitely bring it back and let that confident, beautiful, sparkling self come through. So all right, here comes for you a little bit of human.
I see all the colors of your mind, and I feel all the beauty that's inside. Don't let them make you smaller, don't let them conquer you at all, and don't ever let them tell you you're only human. There's something deep inside you, something awakening, greater part of you that knows you so much more. Let it build inside you. Your life is calling. Let yourself listen to the voice you can't ignore. I can't
right, you guys, thank you so much. And yes, Facundo, I did feel that was it Losa? Yes. No, Facundo, yes, it was a very appropriate song for this topic, I felt. So, yes, I do tend to sort of think it's lovely to have a bit of a music sort of break after a topic, and it's like, definitely got to be this one for this particular topic this week. So, perfect. Awesome. Absolutely love it. And, yes, that's it. You know, and I was thinking the lyrics, you know, there's something deep inside you, something awakening, a greater part of you that knows you're so much more. So again, when you're thinking that you're shy, it's just 100% get back on track with that feeling of what's inside. Wonderful. Love it. Yes, Lacey, need to change. Yes, we've got to get some love into the need to change sector, I feel. That was, I just have a thirst for that one. It's probably going to appear next week somehow. All right. Fantastic, you guys. Love it, and love sharing the chill factor, the goosebumps. Love it. That's what it's all about. Yay, Mirko. Thank you. Awesome. And Ike Will is that my sister? Not in this particular video. I'm not too sure over here. Yeah, Starry Wisdom, the whole breaking free thing. Yeah, I love that. Putting that together in that video was really, really satisfying with Agent VX sort of breaking out of the, you know, the control and the zapping, and Agent Phoenix, you know, being leapt back because of this electrical charge coming through. It was like, wow, there was a lot of little bits and pieces involved in the making of that video. So it was a lot of fun. Absolutely loved it. Yes, excellent. So you know what? It is time for my friends over here in Euro time zone land. And we are doing some trivia over in Europe today. Fantastic. All right. So 3 questions. 3 questions for you guys, and 3 chances to be in the final round. Woohoo, Ralph is back, everyone. Hey, Ralph. Back in time for trivia. I know you're good at it, so let's see how we go today. Excellent. So, also what we're playing for today is going to be, because of the Singapore theme, it's going to be the EP download for Skyscrapers today. So all the remixes, the whole digital EP download is what's going to be the giveaway for Skyscrapers. Excellent. All right. So who's the guy in this one? Christine. Actually, it is Alistair is Agent VX, if that is what you're asking me, I think. Alistair, yes, he is the dancer for the one there. Really, really cool style too. More kind of like tectonic than industrial, but very, very amazing. Like his arms move so fast. I was like, I had to specially ask him to be in it, because I was like, I need someone with like superhuman arms. That is it. So Alistair was the person, and he was amazing, and that was just brilliant. Excellent. So trivia questions for today. Question number 1. Is everybody ready? Fantastic. I don't like the idea of you typing while you're driving, Ralph, so I think you might have to opt out of this one, and you can just yell out the answer in the car, perhaps. That sounds good. All right. So, the question number 1 for the trivia today is, what is the name of my next release coming up that we're doing a dance video project for? All right. So, what is the name of my next release coming up? I haven't actually mentioned it yet today, so it's going to be those of you that know from past streams, from maybe recommended thumbnails or stuff that I've put out recently, like a dance video project for a certain thing. All right, let's see who knows. And that is 3 words in the title of the name of the song for my next release, which is, the first word starts with kind of like the second letter of the alphabet. I'm trying to give you here. Alexi, be here now. Very good. I'm going to give it to you with the typo there, because it's not your first language. That's totally okay. Very good. Alexi, good job. You are into the final round. Oh, Facundo. No, I was trying to kill it. Perfect. Correcting Alexi on his typo and then making one yourself. Beautiful. That's it. Love it. All good. Alexi, good job. You're going to get that one as the one for today. All right. So, Alexi, into the final round. Question number 2. And I mentioned it quite a few times today. What is the name of the hotel and the name of the area where I did a lot of the filming for my time in Singapore? So, in Singapore, I was around this particular place. Oh, Christine's lagging big time. Never mind. That's all right, Christine. It must be a not as good a time of day there. So, particular area in Singapore where I did a lot of the filming for the little video that I put together. So 3 words was the name of the hotel. The name of the area is also the first 2. So I'm going to give you a hint. A really strong hint. The second word is bay. Something, bay, something. Let's see if anybody can get it. The first word starts with an M for Mary. Very good, Ryo. I'm going to give you that. Marina Bay Hotel. Marina Bay Sands is a hotel. Absolute good job, my friend. Well done. Ryo into the final round with Alexi. Excellent. Facundo, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt you, my friend. All good. All right. Well, let's see. I've just given you a listen to Human. So I now have a lyric question from that song for you. So question number 3 is a lyric question, which will be complete this line from the song Human. So, don't let them make you smaller. Don't let them something, 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 something. Something. No? Yes. 4 words. I am not counting well, people. It's getting late over here, okay? It's 11:30 at night. So, don't come to me for high level maths, which is, you know. Oh dear. Okay, so the lyric question, don't let them make you smaller. Don't let them something, 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 something. Yes. Okay. Don't let them. Yes. Midnight Almaz. Good job, my friend. You got it. All right. You know what's missing today? I just realized. This is what happens when it gets late. We haven't had the yays, people. Correct answer. Good job, Midnight Almaz. And sorry, Alexi and... Was it Lothar? Missing out on the yays the first time around. Never mind there. Okay. All right. Good stuff, you guys. You're into the final round. Final question. Final question. Sorry, Ryo, Alexi, and Midnight Almaz. That is it. You 3 into the final round. Well done. Now, final round question. Really not that hard a question, but interesting. If you've been here right from the start with the live streams, you should probably know this one, but see how we go. All good. Dave's keeping track for me. Thanks, Dave. You're my checklist man. Love it. Good work. And that is it. So, what was the name of my very first release? Yay. Not so hard, I think, this one. And it rhymes with... No, I'm not going to do that because it's too easy. It rhymes with something that rhymes with... If you were... No, I can't think of a hint that isn't like giving it away completely. My very, very first release, people. What is the answer? The one person in the final round will get the absolute prize today for this particular one. Not quite human, no. All right, it's going to give you a hint. It starts with the letter F. F for Faith, Brioni Faith. But that is not the name of the song. Okay. Does that help? It starts with, yay, Alexi. All right, we got it this time, Alexi. We got the sound effects, yay. All right, good job. And Ro, just in behind you there, Alexi. Good job, my friend. Gonna be sending out for you the download EP for Skyscrapers. So, looking forward to sending you that one. Good job, Alexi. And good job, everybody, playing along there beautifully. Look at all the falling starting to come. Yeah, that's it. Dave, just say them all and then you'll get it eventually. That's it. Good job. Well done. Good job, Ryo. You came in there just after the fact. All good. Oh, yes. It's a bit early for you guys, a bit late for me. So that's it. None of us are really running at full potential here. That is all good. All right, you guys. So you know what that means. Dun, da, da, da. It's giveaway time. And I just realised I got it wrong before. Imagine that, me getting something wrong. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. But what I remembered was that because I was celebrating the very first Euro time zone stream, that it wasn't actually the EPs, 3 of the EPs that we're giving away this week. It's actually the full double album. Yes. Da, 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 da. Amazing, right? Full double album, signed and all of that sort of thing, is going out to the person who wins today's giveaway. And then it gets even more betterer, or even better. I just had to throw in something really bad because it's late. Anyway, if that amazing person is here on the live stream, they're going to get two EPs of their choice as well. So 3 CDs all up, a signed double album, and 2 EPs if that person is here. How about that? Amazing, right? And just, you know what, because it's Euro time zone and it's late and I'm a little bit, getting out there today, I'm going to throw in the download of the EP for Skyscrapers if that person is here as well. Because why the hell not? That's right. So, beautiful friends, it's time. Look, names in the bowl. Oh! Rummage, rummage, rummage. Put it down over here. Not even looking. And here we go. Let's see. Love those new words we create here. Yes. Fantastic. All right. Yay. Oh, very, very exciting, you people. And today, I need a drum roll over here. Anybody got a drum roll? Because the winner today is somebody that's here. And I'm very excited to tell you. It is Lacey Star. Lacey Star. Oh my God, wait for it. Lacey Star, everybody. Yes. Lacey, oh my God. I feel that is absolutely perfect timing, my beautiful friend. Can you believe that? I love it. Absolutely love it. Yay, Lacey. Everyone, Lacey, very, very cool to welcome you back with that, my friend. How about that? So, Lacey, my beautiful friend, you're going to get the double album. You're going to get 2 CDs. I'm going to send you a download link and I'll be in touch after this. Yay! Congratulations, Lacey. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love how this universe works sometimes, hey? Just amazing. You beautiful, beautiful. Yay! All very excited for Lacey. Yes. And awesome. All right. Amazing people. Well, guess what? It's kind of like getting to the end of the time zone over here and running a little bit over time, my beautiful Patreon friends who know and understand these things. Yes, and really, really love connecting with you guys over here on this time zone today. Jaroslaw, beautiful to see you over here. Daryl's here, everyone. Excellent, good to see you, Daryl. I hadn't seen your name pop up there. And yes, for those of you switching over to this time zone for today, really appreciate that. Just beautiful, and loving to see Risveglio again and catch up with you in your time zone, my friend. Amazing. Eduardo, all good. Thank you for coming along. Brilliant. Lovely to have you back, Lacey, and lovely to see your name come out of that purple bowl today. Just love it. Fantastic. And Mirko, all good. Excellent. So, beautiful people, it's going to be time to sign off and head over to Patreon land, where Jay Gomez, if you're still here, send me an email through brionifaith.com contact page, and I'd love to send you a link to come and join us over there. Thank you so much for your support on the super chat there. And yes, so just to sort of recap, next week we'll be back on the usual time zone, going for the normal Monday time slot. So we'll see how that all fares. It is definitely different for me, being up at late and doing this in a late sort of thing. So we'll be back to normal time zone next week. And yes, see how it all works for everybody. It's cool to get some feedback and see how it all goes and switching it up. But yes, Michael Danford, thank you so much for being here, you guys, today. And just a reminder for anybody watching that's involved in the Industrial Dance project, for the Be Here Now Industrial Dance video project, the submissions actually need to be in next week. So there's 1 week left to go, people. We've got some awesome submissions so far. Usually people leave it to the last minute, I know. It is how we all tend to work with these things. And yes, so just a reminder to amazing dancers and people that we've got 1 week left to go. Very, very cool. All right, and yes, look forward to catching up with you amazing people next week or at the next perfect time. And otherwise, enjoy your week, stay inspired. Mwah, to all of you, big love. Enjoy the rest of your birthday, Risveglio, and I'll hopefully see you on the Patreon side really, really soon. And yeah, very, very cool. All right, big hug to all of you, and wishing you a really wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you soon. All right, so bye for now. Mwah, and a bientôt.